Here you can see our Spartan UI, right? There's nothing, no frills, nothing fancy about it. It just works. That's our thing. It just works. Now, TBN-Plex really isn't designed to work with UI. It's designed to be automated and set it and forget it, right? Where you have that made for TV motto, set it and forget it. But anyway, if you are one of those UI people and you need to see something and have fancy buttons and whatnot, let's show you how a lot of this works here. We're going to go to this client here, and you'll see it says nothing's playing on there. Up next is the movie Galaxy Quest. We're in normal play mode. If you've seen our previous videos, you'll know a lot of this we've hit before. But I'm going to hit it again because we've changed up a few things and added a few things, and we might have some new watchers. So here we go. So we will skip that. And you'll see now it says the next movie is the movie Three Musketeers. We can look at our queue and we have the Three Musketeers and then the movie Lethal Weapon 2. Let's skip that also, so that we have the movie Three Musketeers up next, hopefully. Start next program. Right, so now it is playing Lethal Weapon 2, and up next, Silicon Valley. If you look at your queue, it'll show Lethal Weapon 2 now playing, right? It highlights that when it's playing, and then what's up next. So while we're here, let me talk about this scrobble skip button, because you'll notice we have skip that and we have scrobble skip. So when something is playing, the way TBN-Plex is designed is it doesn't advance your queue or your block or your channel or whatever you're watching until Plex sends a scrobble. That's how it knows that basically the program's over. And what that allows you to do is, let's say you leave, right? You left home, your program stopped, you come home, your TV channel picks right up from where you left off. Now, we didn't leave it playing long enough for that to really work here, so bad example, but that's the way it's designed to work, right? So this scrobble skip button, what that does is it skips the now playing item from your queue, right? So it'll still say now playing Lethal Weapon, but up next Silicon Valley, and you'll notice here in our queue in the return, it no longer lists Lethal Weapon. So if we hit start next, now it's going to play Silicon Valley. That's the idea behind this scrobble skip button. Because there's times where you just want to skip what's playing and start the next thing, right? I mean, if you have your webhook checking on, maybe you just want to hit stop playback instead of skip that and shit. So another cool mode we have here is channels. And the way this works is it goes through your TV library and it looks at the content, who provided that content, like ABC, Fox, NBC, BBC, whatever, and it creates channels based on that. The default setting is 180 minutes, right? So if we look at one like FX, it's going to have, this one must have a ton of commercials in it. Wow, that is like super slow. Oh yeah, that's why. So yeah, you can see it is basically all commercials, this one, except American Horror Story and The Shield and Justified. That's kind of a bad example. Let's regenerate that channel. But we'll look at a different one like Fox. Right, so here APB, Wayward Pines, Lucifer. This is a commercial, and then Terminator Sarah Connor Chronicles. I said it's 180 minutes for channels is what it shoots for, and it's actually an approximation. There's a little bit of give in there, so it will do basically close to it. And if it's a little over, it's like, good enough. Sometimes, hey, TV blocks of TV content overruns, right? So it has that in mind. So let's go ahead and set play mode to this channel. So here it's playing APB Pandora's Box. Of course you can pause, unpause, mute. You won't hear anything because I have that muted, but you'll notice these channel up, channel down buttons appeared, and it also shows what channel we're on. This is to help recreate the old school before they had guides and you just had a remote or a little brother or something that had to run to the TV. Like, go up to the next channel. Boom, now you're on the History Channel. You're watching Vikings. You go up again. You're looking at Spike TV and Afro Samurai, right? So that's the idea behind that, right? It's to be more like a channel remote. You can channel up, channel down, really simulating the channels off your TV. So you look at that. We ran into a commercial here. Oh no, it's actually Space Ghost. Cool. Let's go ahead and change to a different play mode. Go to normal mode. So another thing we got here is our famous block packages. These are kind of like smart playlists, if you will. If we look at like, I don't know, what's a good one? Thursday block. So we'll place Lethal Weapon, The Brave, SEAL Team, Cheers, and then Wilfred. It doesn't play all the whole series, right? It just plays the next episode from each one. Once it's played all 5, it'll revert back to normal play mode for you. You know, you can make any of these you want, right? So Cop Sci-Fi block, it's got 8 different programs in it. The Courtroom block, it's got 4 shows in it. The Friday Morning block, that has just 2 shows in it. The Crime block, 8 shows in it. So let's go ahead and set our mode to, I still gotta fix that bug. Yeah, the Crime block. So up next, Scorpion. Start next program. Now if you remember at the start of the video I mentioned it's really designed to be automated. Let's turn on the automation that does the automatic launching of programs. So we'll pretend like this program ended, right? It stopped. Oh. So it stopped, right? It scrobbled, it stopped. Now we should get Criminal Minds. Hopefully we didn't stop that. No, we're good. So there you go. Now you can also get suggestions. Right, if you're like, give me a good movie to watch. Give me a TV show to watch. Now some of the settings you have here is resume status. That resumes from where you left off if you didn't finish the program. Random start will start in a random spot in the first visit of the program. You have commercial injection, that will inject commercials in between programs. Random block, that will, on the cue film mechanism, enable it to inject blocks when it's on. So, instead of just programs, it can pick up a block of programs. Dual client mode, this is a fun one. This lets you simultaneously play content across 2 clients. I'm going to leave it off for right now, because I'm actually watching something on my other TV. But it's easy to turn on. You just turn it on, boom, there you can see your dual client. If I hit start next program or let the play checker do it, it would automatically play on both the game PC, and the game PC, since right now I'm using the game PC. So, but if I had my main client set as a different one, it would play on 2 simultaneously. Let's turn that off. Favorites mode restricts choice of content to your favorites list, which we have a way that you can specify favorites. The wildcard show is the show that plays more often than other stuff. Think of it as the show you're working through. The next wildcard show, this one, so as soon as I'm done with Silicon Valley, rather than having to go in and say, oh, this is my next wildcard, I've already set it up so that it'll automatically replace it. Right, so as soon as it's finished playing that, it's going to replace that with Killjoys, and something else will be in this next wildcard show slot. You can look at, you have different users you can use. You can create those, give them permissions, whatever. You have your webhook settings. You have your server settings. This lets you set up so you can have, say, a primary and an alternate server, and it will automatically fail over, so the user does not, is they're none the wiser. Your primary server goes down, it'll automatically play off your alternate server, seamless playback. The only sort of asterisk on that is since Plex keeps track of your location on the server, if your server goes down and it fails over, you could likely have a different playback location. You could theoretically use something like Track to sync that. I'm not interested in that. But anyway, you see right now it's off my primary server. If I hit that, it would start playing off my alternate when it stopped playback. Some other options you have here. So we have schedules. Think of it as cron on Linux. Though this will actually work on Windows or even theoretically iOS devices, or OS, whatever they want to call it. Lets you schedule basically any command, really. Even RQ commands you can schedule in there. Specific day, there's a way to set them up as one-time events if you don't want them to repeat. As you can see, I have a bunch in here that repeat every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, with some everyday commands and weekday commands. Very easy to add schedules in there. We also have, because our interface is really designed around a command line interface to set everything up, there's something like 175 options you can do, which is a lot more that you can actually see in this UI. So we gave you a way to both look up how a command is used, right? If you're like, oh, how does where at work, right? And then if you're like, oh, well, let me do a CLI command, and that's basically like putting it in the terminal, only you don't have to obviously open your terminal to do it. But any of the CLI commands will work from that CLI command box. So you got that going for you as well. There's obviously a lot crammed in here. Some of the more recent options we added is, like the Where At button. That should have been in there at the beginning, but it really wasn't. And then we also gave you this way to do commercial breaks easily. Alright, so here you can see it's going to do, playing as a commercial, a trailer from Die Hard, or what I call a trailer. As soon as that's done, it will jump back into Criminal Minds and pick up right from where it left off. We will stop the video, but anyway, there you go. Thanks for watching. Have a good one.